Hello, Denver. Mayor Michael Hancock here on this glorious day on Friday, April the 7th, 2017. It's time for Friday Mail with the Mayor. And because it's April 7th, we also get a chance to wish our Colorado Rockies the very best as they start the season today. It's opening day in Denver, Colorado with our Rockies. We want to wish you well and expect you to bring home the pennant this year. Listen, I'm all ready with my purple. Got my purple shoes on. We're all excited for the Colorado Rockies as they take on the Dodgers. Good luck today and throughout the season. We also want to celebrate the DU Pioneers hockey team. Yeah? On their way to the national championships in Chicago. We want to wish you the very best, Pioneers. Bring home the championship. We'll be there with you to celebrate. We're so proud of the great season you have played, and you've made us all inspired here in Denver. So why don't we go ahead and jump into mail for this Friday. The first one comes from Bert, and Bert writes, Dear Mayor Hancock, he reached out to us on Facebook. Are there any plans at all to repave portions of westbound 8th Avenue from York Street to Broadway? It's a major Denver arterial, yet it has fallen in serious disrepair and casts a sad shadow on Denver's reputation as a progressive city. I realize that there are other streets badly in need of repair as well, but 8th Avenue is among the worst. Well, Bert, let me tell you, you write at the proper time. We just learned through consultation with our Public Works Department that indeed 8th Avenue will be paved from Broadway to Franklin beginning this summer, probably late July, early August. And in 2018, Public Works will move further east down 8th Avenue to pave the street, continue to pave the street. So we want to thank you for writing in. We will also tell you that because of the efforts of the people of Denver, when they voted and passed 2A several years ago, we were able to devote more money to repaving our streets. And so we're going to devote some $4.5 million additional dollars this year to pave an additional, I believe, 430 lane miles in the city of Denver. So our goal is to keep people moving efficiently about our city, and because of the people like you, people of Denver like you, Bert, we're going to be able to pave more roads this year. Thank you very much for your support and for writing in with a very thoughtful question. Question number 2 comes from Bruce. Denver is becoming extremely unsafe. Why isn't the police department getting all of the gangs and hotheads off of the street? And seriously, is Denver becoming Chicago? Shootings, murders, assassinations every time I open the news. What the heck is going on there? Hey, Bruce, I couldn't agree with you more that as a city, we have to have a sense of urgency around these sort of things happening in our city. You might recall several years ago, we had a rash of shootings similar to what we have experienced in the last several weeks in the city of Denver. The Denver Police Department, led by Chief White, and I have a zero tolerance for these type of acts in our community. We're going to move very swiftly to deal with those, as we did in 2014, who bring about this type of criminal activity on our streets. We will not tolerate criminal behavior or terrorism acts in our city that indiscriminately fire into homes, cars, and individuals in this city. We will find you and we will hold you accountable through our collaboration with our partners at the federal, state, and here at the local level. We will use every tool to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law, just as we did in 2014. And many of those individuals today are spending some pretty hefty sentences behind bars because of their acts on our streets. We won't play those games in Denver. Our number one goal is to keep our citizens safe. And we're moving and we're working hard today to find those individuals who are firing guns in our city and perpetrating very serious acts on our streets. So, Bruce, I want to thank you. I sense your urgency. I have that same sense of urgency. Nothing sends greater chills down my spine than to hear about shootings in our city and senseless acts of violence. But we're going to continue to work with Chief White and the police department and all of our partners at the federal state level to make sure we snuff this out. Thank you for writing in, and stay tuned as we continue to work on these very important issues. All right, we're going to move on to question number 3, and I want to make sure I get it right. The next one comes from Lisa. Lisa writes us, I am a member of Save the Republic, a group of concerned Denver citizens. I write to support your efforts and those of Police Chief Robert White to adopt and implement use of force policies that emphasize de-escalation and that permit the use of deadly force only when necessary. as opposed to when merely reasonable. We agree with you and Chief White that this policy will increase the level of trust and respect between the police and our communities, especially our communities of color, and will enhance the safety of all concerned. Thank you for your efforts and support of Chief White to improve the city in this regard. Lisa, your comments are very thoughtful, and we thank you very much. Chief White and I are both very committed to making the Denver Police Department a model for law enforcement throughout this nation. The police department use of force policy is still in draft, and so we continue to invite the public to weigh in. We have done an innumerable number of touch points with the community. We're going to continue to do so until it is finalized. Then we'll continue to make sure we fine-tune it going forward. But I will tell you that Chief White and his command staff are working to develop a balanced policy that not only keeps the people of Denver safe, but also keeps our police officers safe going forward. Extremely important to us, and so we want to thank you very much. The next one comes from Erica. Erica writes that she received her water bill the other day and also learned through an insert about Vision Zero and went online to read more. She says she's an avid runner, biker, and walker herself, often in the dark, and find it extremely important to be well illuminated. All too often, while she's driving her car, she says, oftentimes in the dark, she sees people running, walking, and biking when they're not illuminated, and it makes it unsafe for them as well as drivers. She said she had an idea, and the idea was to start a campaign that basically said, get lit or get hit, to bring awareness to this issue, and that she would distribute reflectors and lights at community events, but haven't figured out how to gain support for an idea like this. And she contacted the police department and community outreach, and they thought it was a great idea, but didn't know as well how to get started. So she's asking how she can get started. Erica, what a great idea, and I was actually motivated by what you wrote in. We're going to actually forward your idea to the police department, chief of police, as well as our public works department, who is working on our Vision Zero efforts, because we really believe that we can cut down dramatically the number of accidents on our streets between automobiles, bikes, and pedestrians. And this is one idea I think that can go quite a long way. But I got to tell you that the city of Denver and our partner agencies are very committed to the values of keeping everyone safe on our streets. And we're going to move forward with plans implemented this year and next year and the coming years to do just that. And so we thank you for writing in, because every good idea helps. We want to encourage anyone else who has ideas and wants to learn more about Vision Zero to email us at visionzero@denvergov.org, and we will make sure we share information, but also take in your ideas that you may have for us. I received finally this wonderful and very, I think, precious email from a young lady named Angelina here in Denver. Actually, it's not an email, it's a postcard. And she writes simply, kids have opinions. 2, we should be heard just like adults. We should have more, not less, expectations with kids. And Angelina, you know what? You sound like me when I was your age, saying someone should listen to us. We think our ideas are bright and we want to be heard. That's why we have things like My Denver Card, because we heard from a young person in Denver saying, hey, we should have access to our rec centers. We would be safer and would be less likely to join gangs. And today, instead of 700 kids having membership cards at rec centers, we have over 100,000 kids who have memberships through our rec center. So we've listened to kids. We also want to suggest to you, Angelina, I hope you apply someday to be on our youth commission, because that is the commission that actually has my ear to tell me more about youth issues in the city. We want to listen to our kids. We value your opinion, and the youth commission is just one way that you can share your opinion with the mayor as well as all other citizens in Denver. So if your parents are listening, tell them to go to denvergov.org and /boards and commissions and have them fill out an application so you can join our youth commission. Angelina, thank you, and thank you to all of you who've sent in Facebook posts, emails, tweets to us. We really appreciate all that you do. We'll be back next Friday with more Friday Mail with the Mayor. Have a great weekend. Go Rockies and go DU Pioneers.